Hi students! So I'm going to show you how to use the quadratic formula. Hopefully you watched my quadratic formula wrap, and I'm going to show you how to actually use that. All it is it's putting numbers in place of variables, which is called substituting, right? Which you guys are awesome and you've had tons of practice with. So I think you'll be totally fine in this lesson, okay? So our first example is to solve this equation using the quadratic formula. It's x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals 0. So the first thing we check is to make sure it's equal to 0, which it is, equals 0. So since it's equal to 0, then we can find a, b, and c, which you guys are really good at. Remember, a is in front of the x squared. In this case, it's 1. B is in front of the x, which is 7, and C doesn't have an x, which is 5. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and write those down. So we're going to say A equals 1, B equals 7, C equals 5, and we're actually going to use C this time. So remember my wrap. That's how I memorized the quadratic formula when I was in high school. So we start with x equals, and then here's the wrap. Negative b is where you start. Plus or minus will show you're smart. The radical sits gently over b squared minus 4ac. Now we're done, except to say everything sits over 2 times a. Okay, that's a quadratic formula. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now make like a skeleton of the quadratic formula with parentheses of where we're going to put numbers. So x equals negative or opposite. That's what that negative sign means. It's the opposite of b. We're going to put parentheses because we're going to put a number there. Plus or minus the radical. And then instead of b, we're going to put parentheses squared minus 4. And then for a, we're going to put parentheses. And for c, we're going to put parentheses. And then it's all over 2 times a in parentheses. Okay, then we're just going to put them in. So first number is b. So b is 7, right? So we're going to put 7 where b goes, and b goes in the first 2 parentheses. And then it's always 4, don't know why. Then a is 1, so we're going to put 1 in place of a. Then c goes in the next parentheses, which is 5. So we're going to put 5 there. And then it says 2 times a, and a is 1. Okay, so that's how you plug everything in. Now I'm going to teach you how to simplify it so it's really easy to type in your calculator. And I'm going to show you how to do it on the Big Ideas Math calculator. So first thing though, we're going to simplify because we can do these in our heads. We can simplify negative 7, right? The opposite of b. So x equals negative 7. Then plus or minus the radical. We don't know that number yet. That's called the discriminant. We're going to go get it in a minute. Then we're going to simplify 2 times 1, which we can do in our heads, which is 2. Okay, now we're going to go use our calculator, and we're only going to type in not the radical, but what is underneath the radical, which is called the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. In this case, 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. Okay, so I'm going to go type it in my Big Ideas Math calculator, which is right here. And okay, so we're going to type in parenthesis 7 close parenthesis squared. This is exactly how I have it typed. See how I did not type the radical, just what's underneath. Then minus 4, then parenthesis a, which is 1, close parenthesis, open parenthesis c, which is 5. And it gives us, I like this calculator because you don't have to push enter, it just gives us our answer. It's 29. So that's our discriminant. If the discriminant is positive, that means we're going to have 2 solutions. Excuse me. So now we're going to go get our answers. So we're going to have 2. First, I'm going to show you how to put it in the calculator. So you're going to do parentheses around the top, type parenthesis -7, and we're going to do plus first, radical 29 close parenthesis, then divided by 2, then we're going to do minus second. And I'll show you how slick this is on the Big Ideas Math Calculator. So, delete what we have. Okay, then we're going to do parenthesis. -7, we're going to do plus first. Now we're going to type in the radical, and our number under the radical is 29. Then you have to click outside of the radical and put a parenthesis. That's the only tricky part. Then we're going to go divided by 2. And that's our first answer, -0.8. I'm going to round that to -0.81. So x equals -0.81. Now we're going to go get our other answer. Look how nice this is. So we just did plus. We also need to do minus. That's why there's the plus and the minus. So we're just going to click in front of the plus, or after the plus, and then we're going to delete it, and we're going to type minus, and then our answer is right there, -6.19. So x equals -6.19, and those are the two places that our quadratic graph crosses the x-axis. Those are our solutions, roots, zeros, using the quadratic formula.